Hello, welcome back to Let's Analyze Together, and welcome back to RALLYTOP Investing. Now let's get straight into our analysis for the week. We are starting off with the DXY, okay? DXY monthly time frame. Now last week we anticipated that price was likely going to come into this monthly supply zone here, all right, having broken structure here. So we anticipated that it will come into this monthly supply zone, all right, for us to see a reaction of that supply zone. We also pointed out that price last week had already cleared this liquidity here. We were expecting this other liquidity pool here to be swept, and price did just exactly the same and did exactly what we said and went into the monthly supply zone. And also last week we said this other supply zone here above was also a valid zone to look at. Why is it? Because price has already broken structure here, all right, and leaving this supply zone. So we anticipated last week that price could momentarily react off of this supply zone here, all right, only for price to later push up and break through this supply zone to get into this upper supply zone before we'll see any significant move to the downside, all right. So that was what we anticipated last week on the monthly time frame. But beyond that, let me quickly say something here, that we need to zoom out and see the overall objective of the DXY. Even though DXY has been making a bullish run for some time now, but it is crucial for us to look at the overall game plan of DXY. Now, as you can see, DXY, all right, now broke this structure high here and created this new high, all right. It created this new high, and price came back down to take out this low, this very low. It took it out, all right. Can you see? And printed a lower low, and then price went up to create a lower high, all right, and it came down again to take out this very low to print a new lower low, all right. Let's break that down. What does that tell you? Well, in my own opinion, I want to believe that the DXY is pretty much bearish, all right, because if price is breaking the lows and maintaining the highs, all right, breaking the low and maintaining the high, it tells that we are pretty much bearish on DXY, all right. Now, as you can see, price is now pushing back up, okay. Price has already pushed back up to this area. If you pick your feet too and measure from this high, if you measure from this high to this low here, all right, you'll discover that price is already at a premium, at the premium zone. It's inside the premium zone of the monthly time frame, all right, meaning that at any point from now, price is likely to push back down in order to create a lower low, all right, to continue with this downtrend. That is the overall picture of DXY, all right. That's the overall picture of DXY, okay. So these two monthly supply zone, they are very, very crucial. Why is it? They are valid. Both of them are valid. Why is it? Now, both of them are broken structures, all right. Both of them are in the premium zone in the monthly time frame, okay. So we need to understand that one, okay. So that is about the overall picture of DXY. That's the overall picture of DXY. We need to put that at the back of our mind. But we are not trading the monthly time frame. It was just to bring our attention to the fact that DXY is overall bearish. Overall bearish. Okay. Now, this is. Let's get to the weekly time frame now. Weekly time frame. The same thing happening on the weekly time frame. So price is already here. Okay. Price is already inside of this monthly POI. Okay. So we want to see some reaction off of it. Okay. But we can't find any reaction yet on the weekly time frame. Then we go to the daily time frame. Can we find any reaction on the daily time frame? Well, here it is not too clear. So I want to get to the 4-hour, the 4-hourly time frame. Maybe we'll have a clearer picture to be able to read price. Now, as you can see, price is already inside of the monthly POI, and it's reacting off of it already. All right, it's trying to retrace. Well, if it retraces down to this point, all right, I will be more than happy to wait for price to come into this demand zone here. All right, if price comes into this demand zone, I would like to see a bullish setup that will enable me to take price even higher into this monthly supply zone. Why is it? Well, in my opinion, I want to believe that price will still go deeper into this monthly supply zone before we see any significant move downward. All right, so I want to see price come into this. If price comes into this demand zone and gives me a good setup to go long, I will take price from here to that monthly supply zone. That's on the H4 for DXY. Okay, now let's look at euro dollar. What does euro dollar have? Monthly time frame. All right, monthly time frame. Let's check that up. Monthly time frame. What does it hold? Now, before we do anything, let's also zoom out and see what this also holds on the monthly time frame. Well, as you can see, price, all right, as you can see, price has violated this structure here to the upside. All right, price went from here, take a look, to this up here, violated this structure here, okay, to the upside. All right, printed a high there, and price is retracing. This is a retracement. This whole leg is retracement, and price is already in the discount zone of the monthly time frame. All right, as you can see, this is exactly the opposite of DXY. All right, price is already in this demand zone. So what should we be expecting of? Well, if any moment from now, this very demand zone here, all right, or the demand zone around this place, well, if any of these two demand zone holds, we are expecting to see price make a move higher to close above this high. All right, to close above this high. Now, don't forget that price failed when it, as it's retracing. We want to see if price will be able to take out this low. But if it doesn't take out this low, this is the point of invalidation. If it doesn't take out this low, it therefore means that price will go higher and break through this very high here to form a new higher high. So overall, euro dollar is bullish. All right, overall, in the long term, on the long term, euro dollar is bullish. Okay, that is what I can see on euro dollar. But like I said, when we were analyzing the DXY, we are intraday traders, so we are not bothered about we are not taking trades from the monthly time frame. All right, now let's get to the weekly time frame now to see what is holding for us. Weekly time frame, let's check that one off first and see what is happening there. Now on the weekly time frame, as you can see, all right, price, let's see, let's zoom in and be able to see clearly. Now as you can see on the weekly time frame, all right, on the weekly time frame, it's all right, on the weekly time frame, you can see that price is already just a minute, guys. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, price has violated structure here. Don't forget about that. Leaving this OB, these three bearish candles, we said that last week that is our where we are targeting. This zone is where we are targeting for price to make some reaction off of that zone. All right, so if we see that zone holds price, then we are expecting to see some reaction off of it, and then we look for opportunity to go long. All right, but last week also we said that here we have this relatively equal lows. All right, and that what is resting below those equal lows is liquidity, money is sitting there. So we're anticipating that price will break through, sweep the liquidity under this equal lows and bump into this demand zone. All right, and as you can see, price is already at that where you have relatively equal lows. But let's get to the daily time frame and see if we can have a better information on what is happening. Well, on the daily time frame, as you can see, price is already at that relatively equal lows. Okay, I want to see a sweep of this equal lows, and then price comes into this place before we see any form of reaction to the upside. Now, well, don't also forget that price has a violated structure here on the daily time frame. Don't forget about that. That this is a violation of structure. All right, that's a violation of structure. Okay, so well, we could be looking at if price can come into this order block here. All right, this very order block, we are looking at it that, well, if we find price come into this order block, all right, we'll be more than happy to take price downward. All right, if it comes here and gives us any reason to go short, then we'll take price downward. All right, so that's what I'm expecting on the daily time frame. Now, beyond that, if this zone doesn't hold, beyond that, we look at this zone. All right, this is crucial. In fact, to be honest with you, anytime there's going to be a retracement from the euro dollar, I'm going to target this zone as my take profit. All right, why is it? Price has violated structure here. All right, number one, leaving this OB here, and don't forget we have this relatively equal highs here. What do you think is resting above this equal highs? Money, of course, liquidity. So I'm expecting price, anytime price is retracing back up, I mean going back up, all right, I'm expecting price to give me, if price comes into this place and gives me a buy opportunity, I will be more than happy to take price from here to get into this very supply zone here, into this daily supply zone. I will be more than happy to do that. Well, but if it gives me any form of retracement into this very supply zone and it holds, and it gives me any reason to short the market, I will short it into this very demand zone here. All right, so that is on D1. Now let's get to the 4 hourly. What does the 4 hourly holds? All right, what does the 4 hourly hold? Now take a look. It's the same break of structure here, and then the same thing is happening here. All right, the same thing is happening here. Okay, we are still targeting this very structure here. If price retraces from here into this structure and gives me any form of sell opportunities, I will be more than happy to take price to this very OB here. Remember this OB, to take price to this OB here. I will be more than happy to do that. That's on the 4 hourly time frame. That's about euro dollar. Now let's quickly go to the to GU. All right, let's see what GU is doing. Let's get to the weekly time frame of GU. Let's get to the weekly time frame of GU. Now, as you can see, all right, on the let's first get to the monthly time frame so that we can know what the bigger picture is doing. All right, now as you can see on the monthly time frame, this monthly, if you zoom out, you will see, all right, if you zoom up completely, all right, you will see that price is breaking the lows, all right, and coming down. This is the last significant high on the monthly time frame, all right, and this is the last significant low, all right. Well, you have these internal structures here. You have these lows being violated down here, all right. You have these lows being violated, and price is here right now. Okay, price is right here. That's all we can see on the monthly time frame. Okay, but let's get to the let's get to the weekly time frame and actually see what is happening on the weekly time frame. All right, let's see what's happening on the weekly time frame. Okay, on the weekly time frame, well, as you can see, all right, price has violated the structure here to the downside. Can you see this violation of structure to the downside? This one, take a look. Price has violated that structure there to the downside. All right, now, so this is our last low. Okay, this is our last high. This is our high, this is our low. So price is trapped in this range now in the monthly time frame, sorry, on the monthly time frame. Okay, now, but don't forget this low here on the monthly time frame. What do you think is resting below this low? It is liquidity. Price is most likely to come, all right, to be attracted to this low in order to sweep the liquidity resting below this low. But let's get to the weekly time frame and see what is happening on the weekly. Okay, now on the weekly time frame, what can we see? Let's see on the weekly time frame. Well, there is this point of interest here. Certainly it was the daily, the weekly point of interest, but I think last week we refined it to the daily point of interest. Let's see the daily. Let's go to the daily. We refine this into daily point of interest. Let's see that quickly. All right, so that's it. Price broke structure here, all right, to the upside. Now this is the origin of this up movement. Okay, so we have this OB sitting here. All right, we have the OB sitting there, and so we are expecting price to come back into that OB and react off of it. All right, if the OB holds, then we need to see price react off of it. Now if price react off of this OB, if this OB should hold price, all right, what we will be looking for on the weekly time frame, as you can see, price has violated structure here, all right, to the downside, leaving this OB here. All right, so on the weekly time frame, if this zone holds price, you want to see price go back into this supply zone before we see any drop to the downside. Can you see that? We want to see something into this place before we find a drop to the downside. Can you see that, guys? So that's what we are expecting on the weekly time frame. But on the daily time frame, on the daily time frame. Now let's check the 4-hour. What do we have on the H4? Is there any significant data we can see here? All right, on the H4, well, as you can see on the H4, price has violated structure here. All right, take a look. There is a violation here. There is a violation of structure here to the downside, as you can see. All right, that's a violation of structure to the downside. Okay, now, but don't forget that here, even though it has violated structure to the downside, okay, we have this trend line liquidity. Take a look at this trend line liquidity. What's happening here? All right, there is this trend line liquidity there. All right, that's trend line liquidity. And also don't forget that we have this equal highs here. All right, okay, let's leave the equal highs first. I want you to see this trend line liquidity clearly, because it appears that liquidity has been poached. Let's get to the 1 hour so that you can see that clearly. Now on the 1 hour, can you see? It appears now. Take a look. This is trend line liquidity. Now, as you can see, it appears price has poached that liquidity, and price is already moving back up. All right, it has poached that liquidity. Now, as price was moving up, it broke this structure here. It broke this structure. Take a look. as price was moving up, this structure was violated here. Can you see? This structure was violated there. Can you see that, guys? That was a break of structure there. All right, leaving this OB here. All right, because to me, to my mind, liquidity has already been purged here. All right, so if liquidity has been captured here, then there is no reason for the smart money to bring price back down to close below this low here. All right, unless liquidity has not been purged. Now, this could be the OB we should target. All right, as price opens up this week, this could be the OB we target. All right, if price comes back into this OB here, all right, if price comes back to this OB, you want to see a reaction off of it and go higher. All right, now, but don't forget, don't trade blindly. Don't just mark out this, because it's possible, or it's a possibility that price can come back down, violate this POI, violate this bigger POI, and continue to go down. All right, we are not market makers. We only trade what we see. All right, now when price returns to this 1 hour OB, I will advise that you scale down to lower time frame. All right, to confirm this 1 hour OB here, confirm it with a lower time frame. All right, entry. All right, so that is about that, guys, on GU. That's about GU. All right, so let's see if we can do one more before we call it a day. Let's see what we can do before we call it a day. Well, let's get to the daily time frame of GJ daily time frame. Let's check that. All right, so GJ, we anticipated last week that price will violate, will sweep the lows resting below these lows. We said so, and it happened. All right, we now said price is likely to sweep the lows and drop into this OB here. All right, so price is already inside that OB. Whether this OB will hold price or not, we don't know. All right, but what we know is that we have two valid OBs here. We have this one, and so we also have this one. All right, on the daily time frame. Okay, so but now price is already reacting off of this OB here. If it holds price, well, that will be better. But let's get to the 4 hour and see if we have further information. Let's see whether we have further information regarding that OB there. All right, let's see that. Well, on the H4, we can see price is pushing up. Now, well, I wouldn't say we have much information here. I don't want to work with the data I have here, because here we have a break of structure here. All right, but let's get to the 1 hour and see what is happening, because price is already reacting off of that daily POI. Now let's look at it. Now there is a break of structure here. There is this break of structure right here. Can you see that? There's a break of structure right there. Okay, now price pulled back and went up again to violate the structure again, to violate the structure the second time. Can you see that, guys? Violate that structure the second time. Okay, now, well, in my own opinion, I will look at this point of interest here. I will look at this point of interest here, and I'm going to take this bearish candle here plus this one as one candle. All right, so this will be my point of interest. That is my hourly point of interest. Okay, my hourly point of interest will be that. So what I'm expecting price to do when it opens, when price opens, all right, this week I want to see price come into this 1 hour OB and to see a move up and perhaps target this very OB here. All right, target that OB there. So that's on the 1 hour. But please don't forget that you need to confirm this your 1 hour OB on your lower time frame. I want you to remember that one. Okay, so guys, that is how far we can go in this week's analysis. All right, now one more thing before we go. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so, and hit the notification bell so that anytime we publish a new video, you'll be notified about it. And if you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to give us a like. Now comment and share with your friends and family. Please help us to share the video. All right, I see you in our next video. And one more thing, guys, if you are yet to join our free Telegram group, please do so. I will leave the link in the description below. All right, you have lots of valuable materials to upgrade your skill from. So please don't forget to join our free Telegram group. I see you next.